look at the X-ray, there's an abnormality there in the bowel gas pattern. So what should strike you first is that there is distended bowel, mainly on the left side of the abdomen. And the first thing we need to do is determine whether this is small bowel or large bowel. Now we can actually see some of the large bowel. If you look on the right side there, you can see there's cecum and the transverse colon and the rectum. So the bowel that's distended appears to be separate to the large bowel. If we look even closer, you can see that there are some areas which are magnified, which seem to be small bowel. So let's have a closer look. So we said that is large bowel. If you look here, you can see there's bowel with valves that cut across the entire length of the small bowel. These are called valvulae conniventis, and so the distended bowel is small bowel. So we're dealing here with small bowel obstruction. Now, to confirm the diagnosis and as well to look for a possible cause, we normally do a CT scan. That's the exam of choice. So let's have a look at the CT scan now. So we can see now that the bowel that's obstructed is mainly in the middle of the abdomen. So you can draw that there, and you can see valves cutting across. They're hard to see, but they're there. And we can see that this is small bowel. Now we can see the large bowel as well, and that is separate to the distended loops, and we can tell them from these haustrations right there. That's colon, that's colon. So there's normal large bowel. We also see some fluid in the pelvis, free fluid. That's here, that's grey stuff. And as you can see, it's kind of baiting the rest of the bowel, and it's separate to the bowel. It's free fluid. And we often see this is free fluid when there is an obstruction of the small bowel, and it's of no particular significance. Note that there's no free air and no sign of perforation. So the next thing we need to determine is what's causing this obstruction. Most times we don't find the cause. We can see where the obstruction is more or less, and it seems that there's a transition around the mid-abdomen. So it could be anything. It's usually an adhesion. That's the commonest cause of small bowel obstruction. Sometimes there's internal hernias or external hernias, but there's no sign of any hernia on this. So the final diagnosis is small bowel obstruction, likely secondary to adhesions. That's the diagnosis.